is we talked about the connection and how you ladies can weed out any fingers that you don't want, you know, when you're dancing with the dude. Because he goes to give you like 4 fingers and it's not comfortable to hold on to. So make sure that you take your fingers and weed out his pinky finger and go to his ring finger instead. And guys, we only want 2 of her fingers as well. We're not trying to grab onto her whole hand. And we're not in the palm. So we're not in the palm of the hand. We're at the fingertips with the fingers curled. I would tell you leaders that you need to curl around the side of her middle finger. Don't just leave it under with your fingers shooting this way. It's why you feel like you're losing her all the time and why you want to use your thumb. So instead, curl around the side of her finger. And if I'm holding on with this hand, it would be curled around her ring finger side. This way it's curled around her middle finger side. But go ahead and close that connection without squeezing too tight. Are you with me? Say yes.
Yes.
Good. We talked about anchor being pretty much the most important thing you can do in this dance. It's just a true story. Just trust me and make your anchor better. You can thank me later, okay? So for you ladies, you're getting to a 5 and 6 and placing your left foot and doing your 5 and 6, putting it there because you mean to do so, and getting all the way down to the heel of the foot, leaving both of your legs straight as your hips settle on the line that your feet are on. So if we put a 2x4 across your feet this way on this line, that is the direction that your hip should settle when you go to do your 5 and 6. Most ladies are thinking that they want their hip to settle straight backwards, but that's actually across the line that your feet are on, so it's uncomfortable and you feel like you're falling over. Keeping your right leg straight, we like to call that a K. Gilbert, stay there, would you? We like to call that a K because when you do your 5 and 6 for me, please. So when she does her 5 and, Kristen's like an I. Just type an I, she's like an I. So she goes 5 and. When she does her 6, it's a whole beat of music. Go ahead and do your 6. When she does her 6 over that whole beat of music, it allows her hip to settle because it puts her torso, the weight of her torso on her hip and on her foot. And so she's going to let this all go this way. Now she becomes a K, right? So she's like a K stand. So she was I and she gets to K. This is what the pro girls are doing that most amateur girls are not doing. That leg continues to stay straight. Once the lead occurs and I start to move her, now she'll develop that right leg and walk out, and that adds a level of maturity to you ladies dancing that you don't have when you pop that knee early. So if you ladies go 5 and 6 and pop your knee on 6, 5 and pop that knee on 6, now when you go to walk the leg, there is no leg action walking out. The leg action was already spent. So save the leg action for start of 1, instead of doing it on 5 and 6. Are you with me? Good. Gentlemen, for you, because we're moving backwards, not forward, we were standing back in this anchor position and tug of war position. And we go 5 and brace ourselves on big toe, second toe, and first and second toe ball, first and second metatarsal. And when we get to the 6, I do not bear weight on the heel of my right foot. I'm building up RPMs. So I've got power braking right here. I go to take off when I transition from the 6 to the 1 is when my heel finally touches the ground, right? Say right.
Right.
So guys, we go 5 and toe ball, lead, 1. Remember that lead generation comes from your right leg. So we all know that we're going to start with our left foot, but guys forever are going 5 and turning their motor off, and then you move this foot, but it's not moving the lady, and you're still using arm to pull her with you. Instead of going 5 and connecting that foot to the ground, to the hip, and to the hand, and now using my standing leg to send me through space, which in turn brings the lady with me. Right? So guys, we call that a leg lead instead of a body lead. So 5 and toe ball, leg lead instead of body lead. She never felt my arm when that happened. Ladies, that takes us to your walk. So when you ladies walk out on your 1, don't make your 1 too big. You're already 2/3 of the way through your natural stride when you begin. So if this is your natural stride and then you only draw that back that far, that's how small your 1 is when you walk out in this dance. It's the smallest step of the pattern for ladies. So she develops the knee and she goes 1, 2 to a heel lead just like that. When you ladies take off, you're leaving your left heel on the ground. 5 and 6, you're not lifting your heel and pushing from the ball. You're leaving that heel on the ground, developing this leg, and then allowing your ankle to relax, and you're rolling off the inside edge of that ankle when you walk out on your 1 right there. Right? Say right.
Right.
Ladies, staying closer to your partner on the 3 and 4 is a big deal so you have a better anchor. So you go 1, 2, and you choose to be closer to the dude on the 4, right? So you go 1, 2, and you choose to be closer. It's not because she like pulled back with her elbow and said, what I'll do is I'll limit myself by making my arm tight. That is a go-to for you ladies. You believe that's why you're closer, because you're pulling with your arm. You're closer because you chose to be closer. Be close to me on 4. 1, 2. She's choosing to be closer to me on 4. It's not because she's pulling with her arm. Now, whoa, sorry, did that here? So here was the 4. So this is bent. Now she gets to step back into anchor. Watch her arm adjust. My hand doesn't move. Why is that? The man's hand doesn't move beyond 4. So my hand becomes stationary, and her arm lengthened because she was this close on 4, and now she's that far away on 5, and you ladies have a tendency to keep your arm the same distance the whole time. So that arm bends in the middle of the slot, and it straightens as you step away, giving yourself enough room to not hang yourself as you go through. Right on? Say right on. Guys, we do a 3 and 4. We do a drop triple every time. So we do a 1, 2, brace ourselves, 3, replace, and step 4. And we do an anchor 5 and 6. By the left side, 6 or 8 count patterns. 3 and 4, 5 and 6 by the right side. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And doing a whip pattern goes by the right side. It's the same drop triple, 3 and 4 each time. And the heel of my foot doesn't make it to the ground because it's out from under the body. The drop triple actually sends the body forward, so the focus is not for the body to go backwards. So 1, 2, a drop triple doesn't mean the body's going backwards. It's more like running a race, and you drop the foot back to push forward. So I'm bracing myself to go forward. So 1, 2, I don't go backwards. And you'll see guys imitating pros that think that the drop triple is about going backwards. It wasn't ever about going backwards. It was about bracing yourself and going forward so it looked more athletic. Are you with me? Say yes. Good. We spin the lady to the left. We give her a 1 prep 2. So all spins, whatever handhold we want, they go by the left side. We're prepping the lady between the 1 and the 2. We're not prepping her on the 1. So we get her on the foot on 1. We give her rotation. She already had momentum. Now she has momentum and torque. She arrives on the foot. I can let go of her. Her job is to do a great spin on the 3 and 4. It's no longer my responsibility for her to spin well. I gave her a good lead. So I went 1 prep 2. I pick up the hand. She spins. I'm holding on just because we want the hand at the end of the pattern, but I'm not driving that. Ladies, accelerating on the O of 2 and finishing that acceleration by the T of 3. So get on the acceleration. The man's not supposed to give that to you. So you go 1 to accelerate, 3, chill out, 4, 5, and 6. So put speed at the beginning of your spin, land with finesse. Ladies, finish your rotation. We're landing on separate skis. We're not on a single ski. So you spin on a single ski, single ski, single ski. Dismount deliberately the width of your hips so you're out of your own way when you step back to anchor 5 and 6. So 1, 2, spinning, 3 and 4, out of our own way, 5 and 6. We call that kick in the face for. Spinning to the right, guys, we prep her on the other foot. We were giving her no prep 1, she landed on the foot, prep her 2. Now we're prepping her for the 1 with the J-hook lead. Remember, we start with the clock face with our hand at 10 o'clock. We back out of the driveway, it takes it from 10 to 5. So I back out of the driveway, it takes it from 10 to 5. I then need to leave my hand on the clock face. So don't pull the hand off the clock face, which is what you guys are doing. So you give her a J-hook lead and you pull her towards you is what's happening all over this world. I need to rotate her and draw a circle around her where she stands. So I go from 10 to 5, and then it comes around the clock face, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, to 3 o'clock on the other side of the face, being generous to my partner so that she has room. So I go 10 to 5, all the way around the clock face, just like that. When I go to give her a spinning right side pass, the only difference is I pick that up a spiral staircase. So it's the same J-hook 1 that goes up a spiral staircase to, she does a turn, not a spin. She accelerates in the same spot. On the O of 2, she turns off the energy going into the 3. She finishes 4, does a workaround anchor 5 and 6. 1, 2, I do a drop triple, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. That's a spinning right side pattern. Already kind of showed you the whip pattern, the difference in the J-hook being that it doesn't go up, it stays down, rides with the lady, yes? Guys, for you on that plain whip, we did a drop triple straddle on the 3 and 4. We already had her moving through space. Open the door. So ole, open the door. What are we gonna do? Make her rotate where she stands. I'm not hip tossing her down the slot from the 4 to the 5. You guys want to pull the hell out of her between the 4 and the 5. You 1, 2, 3. You want to pull her past you on the 5 instead of steering. Just steer. Just steer and let her go down the slot. Are you with me? So we go 1, 2, 3. Just steer, and she goes down the slot. Makes that whip a whole lot sharper. Yes. What else? What else? Huh? Oh, yeah. So your free hand, just for the aesthetic of the dance, for the free hand. And don't forget, when you want to fix your sloppy dancing and you realize it's sloppy, what do you need to do? A better anchor. What do you need to do? It fixes everything, okay? So the free hand, so it's snap height. So we snap, and most people aren't weird and don't snap like that. I say snap, you pretty much snap like this. So ladies and guys have your hand at snap height. That's where our free hand goes. Guys typically dance with a relaxed fist for the most part. Ladies, your hand tends to stay a little bit more open, but it's always at this snap height. When we're not using it, it's always there to be found. You ask for the hand, you give him the hand, you go back to snap height when that's over. Are you with me? Say yes.
Yes.
Thank y'all so much for coming out today. Thank you very much. Thank you, Gilbert. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Katie, so much. I'm so glad y'all came out. Stick around and dance, have some fun. Jake, you think you